Βάλτε το πάνω στο τραπέζι. From Australia, Sydney?
Everything's okay. I had all the formalities checked when I arrived in Athens yesterday.
Viglis? Antonis Viglis? That was his name?
My grandfather. He was born here in Crete.
And you are Anthony Viglis?
That's right, next of kin. Well, like I said, the old man was born here and I brought him back to be buried. That's what he wanted. In the village where he was born. A place called Daphne. Do you know it?
Yes, Kyria Viglis. I know it.
Alexia, huh?
Go.
Hey, Nico! How's the engine going now, all right?
Like it was new. Thanks to you, Leandros, I'm grateful.
But what can I do, Mother? You will not permit me to tell both of them the truth.
No! For Elena's sake, for the sake of the family, to protect your dead sister's honor, the truth must remain a secret known only to you and to me.
And to the Englishman?
Yes. And that is why he must leave Crete. Why you must force him to go.
How?
How? You ask me that? Your blood may have thinned in the air of Athens, but it is still Cretan blood. With such a question, you shame me, Petros. You shame yourself, and you shame the name of Matarkis. How do you think your father would have needed to ask such a thing of me? He would have known what he had to do. Besides, you know the answer already. You must go up against this Englishman in everything he does, in everything he plans to do.
Vendetta.
What else? It is demanded of you, however little stomach you may have for it. And if all else fails, then you must kill him.
It is Mathios Noukakis, Mother.
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ματάκη.
Kalimera Mateos, what can I do for you? If it is that you are here to ask if I have been successful in persuading Annika to give you back your job as her manager, then sadly I have to tell you that she won't listen to me.
No, κυρία, it is not about that I'm here. But I'm grateful to you for speaking to her on my behalf. And I'm sorry that she's so against me. She will not even see me. But that's another matter. The reason I'm here is because my cousin, who works at the airport, telephoned me with some information, something which I feel certain you would want to know, as it will be of great concern to you.
What is it?
A man arrived on the early morning flight from Athens today. His name is Viglis, Anthony Viglis. And he has brought with him the body of his grandfather, Andonis Viglis, to see it buried in the cemetery of Daphne.
Andonis Viglis to be buried in Daphne. Dear Lord in heaven, why have you done this to me? Are my sins such that you must add more weight to the cross I bear? First, your weakness, and now this, to add further insult to the name of Patakis. Andonis Viglis, laid to rest in Daphne. It must not happen. It cannot happen. And fortunately, there is no need for you to make sure of that, my son, for I can. And I will. Καλημέρα. Καλημέρα. Καλημέρα.
Καλώς ορίσατε. Περάστε.
The story of the word doesn't make happy reading these days. So, I have no regrets for disturbing you.
Nika, hello, how are you? Come and sit down. When did you get back?
Late last night.
Well, I seem to be in charge. Would you like coffee, a drink or something?
No, thank you. I met Babis in Heraklia this morning. He told me how much progress you have made with the boat. I couldn't wait to see for myself. I also came to say hello to you. I couldn't wait any longer to do that either.
I'm glad. Hello.
Hello, Leandros.
You've seen the boat, have you?
Yes, I have just come from the beach.
What do you think of it?
But you should be very proud of yourself. Such a task, so well done, and all alone.
Oh, no. I'm not on my own anymore. Alexis works with me. He's my apprentice. He hammers very well. Another couple of weeks and it should be finished.
Oh, the launching. It will be a very special occasion. It must be done with great style.
Oh, yes. Champagne.
Of course, the best.
And you will christen her for me.
Thank you. I would like that. What name have you chosen?
The Knot.
The Knot. Yes, that's a good name. The knot that binds you to Crete.
The knot that binds me to many things.
Did you know that my brother Petros is here in Crete again?
No. Has he been away then?
For years in Athens.
Is he back in Crete for good?
No, to visit our mother. I think it must be that his conscience troubles him. We have seen very little of him since he left. He has been too busy making money and becoming important.
And is he important?
To Petros, he is.
And to you?
He's my brother. I love him. But I'm also sorry for him.
Why?
He's a man who has forsaken the old horizon, but who, I think, has not yet found another.
And as you have?
Yes.
Have you seen him yet?
Yes, he came to my house. It was a strange reunion. He seemed uncomfortable with me. We talked, but said nothing.
Oh, perhaps someday I'll meet him.
Oh, yes, that would please me. You will both come to dinner with me. But not tomorrow. Tomorrow, you and I are going up into the mountains.
Oh, you've decided, have you?
That you need a rest from your work on the boat, yes. You agree?
What if I said no?
I would insist. Oh, please, a day off. From everything and everyone that has a claim on us. And together.
I agree. No argument.
Oh, good. You will enjoy the day, I promise you.
Where are we going?
To the place where I was born. To the village where my mother and father were born and where they were married. You will see it's beautiful. You will like it. It's called Daphne.
Τώρα κατεβαίνει, κατεβαίνει.
Είναι αμαρτία. Αμαρτία. Όχι εδώ.
She said, such a scene. It shall not happen.
What does she mean?
Can't understand. And later we can eat there. Καλημέρα. Well, you have seen the chapel in which I was christened, and here is the house that my grandfather built. The house in which, for many years, my father and mother lived. The house in which I was born. Yes, my grandfather was poor then. He had only this house and a little land. But later, things changed. He was very clever.
Must have been quite a man, your grandfather.
Yes, he was. Money, position, respect. For these things, he was hungry. And so am I, hungry. So now we eat.
Okay.
Do you like κεφτέδες?
Very much.
Σε ευχαριστώ πολύ, Χρήστο. Στην υγειά μας!
Γεια.
You come to Daphne often?
Oh, not so often as I would like to, or as I should, perhaps. I haven't been here for more than a year.
Well, they're obviously very pleased to see you. It's like a royal welcome.
They're kind to me. Most of them have known me since I was a child. Besides, I told you, they are my people.
Έρχεται εδώ.
What is it? What's going on?
Τι συμβαίνει, Χρήστο, ποιος ήρθε?
Anybody here speak English?
Nika? Hello, I'm Alan Haldane.
Tony Viglis. Pom, eh?
Yes. You must be Australian.
Oh, right, true blue. They're a friendly mob, aren't they?
Yes, they were before you came in.
Oh, great. Thanks a bunch.
Can I help you?
Do you speak the lingo?
Enough, probably.
I'm looking for the local priest, Father Nicolau. Now, I've been to his house and there's somebody there, but they're not answering the door.
Curious. There's Bacca Nicolau. You speak to alla denta Vicky. They're accusati tipa.
Hold it! Anika, what the hell is going on?
Do not interfere, Landros. It doesn't concern you.
A man walks in here, a stranger, a foreigner, he's spat at, he's insulted. One man against so many, you say it doesn't concern me?
Then get him away from here. Tell him to leave, Daphne.
Why?
Now, Landros, quickly.
You drove him?
Yeah, in a hire car. It's parked outside.
Right, I'll walk you to it.
Yeah, but
Come on.
Έφτασε. For God's sake, what's going on round here? What have I done?
You've been here before?
It's my first trip outside Australia.
Where are you staying?
In Heraklion at the Knossos Hotel.
All right, I'll try and find out what this is all about and I'll call you.
Thanks.
Right, come on. Slowly.
Romico. Hey, now, wait a minute, fella. Right, that's enough.
Αστείωποι, you bastards! Do you want some more?
Φτάνει πια! Φτάνει! Αυτός ο άνθρωπος είναι ο Λέανδρος που πολέμησε με τους αντάρτες. Θέλετε να το χτυπήσετε! Σταμάτα, είπα!
Are you all right?
Yes, but he isn't.
I did warn you.
You're not him. He could have been killed and you would have just let it happen.
I stopped them.
It's only because I was involved.
He's not welcome here.
Oh, you do surprise me. Savages. Ah! Is there a policeman in this village?
Yes.
But he just doesn't happen to be here. How very convenient.
Where are you taking him?
To my place to get a doctor. You can take my car back.
You mustn't judge them too harshly. They have a reason.
For that? Whatever their reason, you can forget... Oh, yes, you probably can, can't you? Because, as you said, they are your people.
How is he?
Lucky. I've had the doctor here. He's got a severe cut on the head and probably concussion. Now I'd like an explanation, please.
His name is Viglis.
He told me that, so?
Once there were many Viglis in Daphne, but they weren't good people. They stole sheep, quarreled, fought, and made trouble. Then one day, 2 of the villagers were murdered by men of the Viglis family. The people of Daphne rose up against them. They hanged the murderers.
Lynch them.
That was often the way of justice in the mountains then. No Viglis has lived in Daphne or dared to return their sins.
And when did all this happen?
1916.
That is over 60 years ago.
In the mountains, people do not forget easily, as you well know.
But this man isn't a Cretan, he's a visitor, an Australian.
He bears the name, and he has brought with him the body of his grandfather, Antonis Viglis, who wished to be buried in Daphne. And that's something that the villagers will not permit.
Oh, it's barbaric.
These are Cretan mountain people. They hold the grievance close to them. You fought alongside them during the war.
Oh, no. The people I fought alongside during the war had a respect for the dead. They even made sure their enemies were decently buried.
As Antonis Viglis should be buried. And in Crete, no one questions that. But not in Daphne. The villagers do not forgive.
Well, it's about time they learned to. Somebody ought to get that message across to them. You, for example.
Me?
Yes, you. They obviously respect you. You've got influence with them. I saw that this morning. So speak to them. Tell them to stop this nonsense, this shameful business.
No, Leandros. I cannot do that.
Why not?
It's not possible.
Well, because you agree with them?
No, but understand them. And I cannot interfere.
Cannot or will not?
Between those 2 words, what difference does it make?
A hell of a lot to me.
Very well, then. I will not.
And you really are one of them, aren't you? And you're no better than they are.
No, I'm not. But then I have never thought myself to be.
Mr. Halding?
Hello, Major. Come in.
It seems that we only meet in times of trouble.
You heard what happened this morning?
Yes. It is a very serious matter. How is Mr. Viglis?
Well, the doctor thinks he'll be all right. He's upstairs resting at the moment. I've just made myself some coffee. Would you like some?
Thank you, no.
Well, if you excuse me, I will.
I have just returned from Daphne. It is a beautiful place.
Yes, I wouldn't recommend it for a visit.
And the air in the mountains, so clean, so cool, so fragrant. Some say that it is the breath of God. Did you know that?
There was very little of God up there this morning.
The air is air, Mr. Halding. It is man who pollutes it.
I take your point.
You are aware of the reason for this attack?
Some old feud, I believe.
More than that. A vendetta.
And now the villagers are determined to stop Viglis burying his grandfather there.
I do not think so. I do not believe that left to make the decision themselves, the majority of the people of Daphne would be opposed to that.
Well, he certainly fooled me. And Viglis is going to have the scar on his head for the rest of his life to prove it.
I said if left to make the decision themselves. But they have not been allowed that privilege by the eldest surviving member of the family who were the rivals of the Viglis. The family which now owns the whole village and the land around it. The beneficent family which built the new school there and restored the old chapel. The family which collects the rents and to which most of the villagers owe their livelihood. And because of that, their loyalty. But only because of that, and out of fear of going against them, do they collectively oppose the burial.
You mean they've been told to do it or else?
Exactly. Perhaps less bluntly than that.
So what can you do about it?
Little, if anything. Although naturally I will try. But while the pressure is there, the people of Daphne will bend to it. They have been told that Antonis Viglis is unwelcomed in their cemetery. And if for no other reason than to protect themselves, they will go to any lengths to see that he is not buried there.
What kind of people are they?
The people they have always been. Cretans. Proud, hospitable, independent, brave. My people. Your people, from what I have heard of you. But tell me, who of us in a lifetime, and when tested, is not sometimes meek, hostile, dependent, and afraid? So that's what kind of people they are, Mr. Haldane. They are people.
What do you recommend?
That Mr. Viglis buries his grandfather elsewhere on the island. Now, that is the simple solution.
And if he insists on Daphne?
Then he will need a great deal of help and support. And I will give him what protection I can. Meanwhile, I will try to see to it that those who attacked him this morning are charged and brought before the court.
Well, that may help.
I doubt it. The villagers saw nothing and heard nothing. Certainly no one will identify any of your assailants.
Well, Mrs. Safiri was there. She knows them. She could identify them.
Undoubtedly. But she will not do so.
Why not?
Mrs. Zafiri was born Anika Matakis.
So?
It is the Matakis family which owns Daphne. You are surprised?
Very. There is one little detail that was left out of the story that I was told.
Oh, yes. They are the family which claimed that they were wronged by the Viglis. It is they who declared the vendetta. And it is Anika's mother, Katerina Matakis, who today keeps it alive and now fans it into flames once more.
Παιδιά, θέλετε να φάτε τώρα ή αργότερα?
Όχι, αργότερα.
Εντάξει.
This is the 20th century.
Yeah, maybe, but in some parts of Crete, the vendetta is still a reality. You know, people cling to the old ways. Yeah. Didn't your grandfather ever tell you anything about what happened here?
Not a word. Oh, he's full of stories, mine, and some of them pretty wild. And I always had the feeling they left here sort of, well, on the run. But why, he never did say. Not to me, anyway.
When did he leave?
He was about 18, I think.
Yeah, but what year was it?
Well, let's see, it was 79 when he died. Did he make it 1898? Yeah, 1916, it fits.
Well, now you know what the situation is. What are you going to do about it?
Do? What do you think? I'm going to see it through.
Well, the police major doesn't think much of that idea.
Well, stuff him. We'll stuff all those abos up in the mountains. Look, no matter what happens, my grandfather's going to be buried where he chose to be, in a plot of land bought with his money that he earned with a hell of a lot of hard sweat. Now, that's what he wanted, and that's what I'm going to see happens, believe me.
All right, I'm with you.
Listen, Mr. Haldane.
Alan.
All right, thanks. Listen, Alan, you've been bloody good to me already. I mean, getting me out of that place, calling in a doctor, letting me rest up at your house and all, but if there's going to be more trouble, and it looks like there is, I don't want to get you involved.
I am already involved. It's as much my problem as it is yours now.
Oh, how come?
I just call it a family matter. But if the Major's right, and I think he is, you are going to need a lot of help. But what we need on our side is a man who carries a lot of weight around here. I think I know the very man.
After you telephoned to me, Landros, I got in touch with Father Nicholas. He made many excuses, none of which I would accept. Finally, he said it was not possible for the burial to take place in Daphne because there was no room in the cemetery. This is a lie. I know it to be so. However, he clearly considers that to be the end of the matter.
All right, so what do you suggest?
That you reconsider, I think.
No.
Leandros brought you to me because I'm his friend. He trusts me. He trusts my judgment. Will you please do the same?
Not if you're saying I should bury my grandfather somewhere else.
You're a stubborn man, Mr.
I didn't come here to stir up trouble. Your people have done that. I'm not going to back away from them.
Leandros.
Well, I'm with him on this, Babby. I think he's right.
Very well, if you both insist.
Yeah, but Father Nicola says that cemetery is full. If he sticks to that story, what can we do about it?
Since I know that to be untrue, as a lawyer, I can only conclude that he's been deliberately obstructive to the rightful claims of the heir and executor to the estate of Andonis Viglis, and without reasonable cause. In which case, as your representative, it is open to me to appeal to the Archbishop. I take it that your grandfather was not a heretic.
Too right.
And that he was in good standing with the Greek Church.
Oh, yes, he used to go to services regularly.
So, there can be no religious grounds on which to refuse him burial and in the place of his choosing. Now, when the Archbishop is in possession of all the facts, he will have no alternative other than to order Father Nicholas to proceed with the funeral and to officiate at it. However, that will only be a piece of paper, an instruction. Only another influence can ensure that your grandfather finally rests in peace in Daphne.
Katerina Matakis.
It is she who opposes you.
Well, come on, Babby, talk to her. I mean, you know her well. In fact, I think you're a friend of hers. Appeal to her.
She wouldn't listen, even to me, I know.
Yeah, but if you asked her...
It's a matter of pride with her. Her ears would be deaf to all entreaties. She is much like you, Mr. Viglis. No one will persuade her away from what she feels deeply to be her duty.
You are mistaken, Major. The people of my village have acted in this way because of the outrage with which they feel themselves threatened, and not because of any claim which I or my family may have on them.
Then, if that is so...
You doubt my word?
I would say only this, Kyrie Matakis. Incitement to violence is a criminal offense.
You came here to threaten me.
No. Merely to acquaint you with that fact. It is as well for us all to know how we may place ourselves in jeopardy.
There was no incitement. None was needed.
But your interests are close to the hearts of the people of Daphne, as their interests are close to your heart.
I have no cause to deny that. I am proud of our shared concern in all things.
And so you would wish to advise them well.
As I have always done.
Then warn them. Tell them that if the Australian comes to Daphne again, for any reason, and if they go against him, they will go against me.
You would protect him, a foreigner, from the anger of people of your own blood?
No. I do not protect him. The law does.
Man's law. There is no true justice there.
If you call on justice, Kyrie Matakis, then remember this. Justice is blind. She cannot tell a Cretan from a foreigner. Kalimera. Kyrie Petros?
I will see you to the door.
He means what he says, Mother. He will stand with Viglis. He must.
Then let him. It changes nothing. Only that in standing with him, the Major may also fall with him.
Mother, why? For what? For a wrong that was avenged years ago? What is there to be gained from what you are doing? For anyone?
There have been times lately, Petros, when if I didn't still remember the agony of your birth, I would doubt that you were my son. And to think that I have placed the Englishman Haldane in your hands.
Very well. I'll speak to the Archbishop, and he will instruct Father Nicholas of that himself.
Thank you.
If only it was easy as that. If only I could believe that you had reasonable cause for gratitude. But in doing this, I'm only opening a gate. The path you have chosen is no less stony than before. Now, will you please do something for me? I would like to speak to Leandros for one moment alone.
Right. I'll wait for you outside.
Yes, sir, Mr. Viglis.
Thanks again.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yes, you're going to say it's none of my business and I shouldn't get involved.
You, of all people, you are far too vulnerable, Leandros. When Katerina Matakis learns that you are helping Viglis, she's not going to be pleased. Elena, she is your weakness. The secret that only you and I share. In her, your blood is mixed with Matakis' blood, but she doesn't know that. You don't share her loyalties. Offend her grandmother, and you risk to offend her. And then there is Annika.
I already know where Annika stands on this. She goes with her family.
And you condemn her for that?
No, I'm disappointed.
Annika is an educated woman. She has traveled. But despite that, she's still a Cretan and of peasant stock. That is a birthright to be proud of, but is also a heritage which is hard to shake off. Perhaps you expect too much of her.
No more than I'd ever settle for.
Elena, are you prepared to risk the relationship which you are building up with her for this stranger?
What would you have me do? Turn my back on him? Turn my back on this whole shameful business? You know, Babby, if you think I expect too much of Annika, you obviously expect far too little of me.
Well, Mother?
The Archbishop has ordered Father Nicholas to bury Andonis Viglis. He cannot refuse.
The past, Mother. The past.
Come in.
The burial is to take place, then?
Yes, this afternoon. But now there's another problem. The undertakers at Heraklion have backed out of the job. I was just trying to ring...
That does not surprise me. Even people who have no stake in this will not wish to offend those of their kind who have. But I will provide the transport, and my men will do all that is necessary. They will be needed there anyway.
You mean there could be a repetition up there of what happened the other morning, despite the order from the Archbishop?
It would require much more than an order from the Archbishop to eliminate that risk.
Yeah, Katerina Matakis.
I have spoken to her. She knows that if the villagers do make more trouble, then I will have to act firmly against them and that people may be hurt. Only if she were to relent could that be avoided.
While there is still time, someone close to her has got to talk to her and make her see sense.
No, Leandros, I told you. I will not interfere.
What you didn't tell me was that your mother was behind all this.
I couldn't.
Why not?
I was ashamed.
Something in your favor, I suppose?
I did tell you, though, that I understood why this is being done.
You told me you didn't agree with it.
I do not. What is happening is part of yesterday's Crete. I want none of it.
You say that, but do you mean it?
Yes.
Well, then speak to your mother!
No! It's none of my concern. No more than it's yours. It's hers alone. For her, the injury that she believes was done to her husband's family is still an open wound. She's wrong, of course. But she is my mother. How can I tell her that she's wrong in what she does without deepening the wound? And who am I to judge her?
Look, just speak to her. Make her see sense. That's all that I ask, and is all that anybody asks.
No, I will not hurt her.
Hurt her? A spiteful old woman who uses other people's respect as a weapon. Look, have you any idea of what's going to happen up there this morning?
Even so.
Well, then you'll know less of a barbarian than she is. And why the facade, Annika? You said you're sorry for your brother Petros because he hasn't found a new horizon. Well, I feel very, very sorry for you because you haven't either. And your children, what would they think? Would they be proud of you? Just ask yourself that sometime.
τόσο θα συμβούν πάντοτε οι ίδιοι ή της αιώνας του λαού. Ελέησον, Κύριε Θεός, και υπέρ του συγχωρηθείτε αυτό.
This afternoon we'll see the old man buried, but he will not lie here for long, I think.
You mean they'll desecrate the grave?
I shall place 2 extra men on duty in the village, but I cannot keep them here forever.
Και ο θάνατος του κεκοιμημένου δούλου σου. Εισάκουσον, Κύριε.
Will you let this happen? A Viglis buried in Daphne?
Σταματήστε! Έτοιμοι!
Γιαννίκα, κοιτάξτε!
Rest here quietly, Andoni Viglis. You have come home. I, Anika Zafiri, born Anika Mataki, say this.
Your sister has lost her mind. She shames us. Stop her. Do you hear me? Do something.
Rest here quietly, you Andonis Viglis, who are now with God. I, Petros, head of the Matakis family, say this.
Όχι, Βεντέτα.
Anika is right. Andonis Viglis is dead, and so is the past. I will have no more of any vendetta.
It is because you have forsaken your heritage.
No. I am proud of that which is good in it.
Because you are a coward, then.
If you wish to think that. But from now on, I am content to leave retribution in God's hands. Come.
Mathieu.
Μητέρα.
Anika, thank you.
For what? Saying the truth? Doing what I should have done at the beginning?
May I drive you home?
I would like that.